Hello and congratulations on becoming the administrator of your 3D Experience platform. In this video, I'm going to cover the basics of logging into 3D Experience, inviting users and assigning roles, installing software, and creating and managing communities and 3D spaces. But first, there are a few emails that are needed to get started. You may have already received the first one of these, which is the End User License Agreement. If this is sitting in your inbox, don't delay because it must be accepted within 30 days before moving to the next step. Once the license is agreed to, your platform becomes available for use and an additional license key order email is sent out. This LKO email will be sent to the person who accepted the license agreement, and if this is not the platform administrator, then it is important that it is forwarded to the correct person right away. Whoever consumes the license in this email by either clicking or pasting the URL into a web browser becomes the initial platform admin. The license key email also includes really useful information about getting started, along with a link to the 3D Experience platform cloud onboarding website. Here you can find onboarding videos, online support, getting started guides, and other documentation. It also includes a very handy eligibility checking tool that will automatically look over your computer setup and ensure you have all of the necessary components, such as Java 8, to fully utilize 3D Experience. Once you follow the URL to activate your platform, you will be prompted to log in. If you have an existing SOLIDWORKS account, you can use that, or reset your password. If you're having any troubles at all, make sure your existing credentials are working correctly over at solidworks.com in the customer portal first. If you've never logged in before, just follow the links to create a 3D Experience ID. You will need to choose a username, but in the future you can use either username or email address to log in, so don't worry about having to remember another username. If you run into problems with an access denied or similar message, this almost always has to do with browser cache. So try clearing your cache, or better yet, just try using a Google Chrome incognito window to log in. Now once inside, you'll want to access the Platform Management Dashboard, if not taken there directly. Simply click on the menu to expand the dashboard list and choose Platform Management. The My Platform tab of this dashboard displays overall statistics for your platform. But let's switch over to the Members tab to invite users and assign roles. The most important thing to remember here is that once assigned, licenses are locked to that user for 30 days. Everyone accessing 3D Experience is going to need the Collaborative Business Innovator role as a prerequisite, so anyone you invite is going to be consuming one of those licenses for at least 30 days. To do this, click on Invite Members and enter an email address or multiple email addresses separated by semicolons. You have the option to give this person administrator rights as well, add a message, and then click Next to assign roles. Some roles connect to apps such as SOLIDWORKS, so include this if necessary and send out the invite. On the user side, an invitation email will arrive with prompts to log in with the same process you used for your initial login. And remember, should there be any login issues, try clearing your browser cache or logging in through an incognito window. Now, not all software is entirely run in the cloud. 3D Drive, for instance, can be installed as a local folder similar to OneDrive or Dropbox. As an administrator, you can share installation files amongst your users to speed up the process. You simply need to specify a network location and either download the installation files ahead of time or let the first user installing software do this for you. While still in the Members tab of the Platform Management Dashboard, click on Configure Apps Installation and you'll find the option to specify a network share. When you launch an app in 3D Experience that requires installation or updating, you will automatically be prompted to install at that time. Now, whether installed locally or not, every user of 3D Experience has access to at least 5 gigabytes of online storage through the 3D Drive app. Admin settings for all drives can be accessed on the Content tab of the Platform Management Dashboard through the Drives Control Center. Individual users' drives can be managed, and notice that an iterations policy exists under Manage Settings, as 3D Drive actually keeps a history of the files stored in it, which can be viewed from inside the 3D Drive app. This is a pretty nice feature for lightweight data management, along with the option to globally disable the ability to create shareable 3D drive links. Users of authoring apps like SolidWorks, XDesign, or Xshape, well, they're going to need a fully featured data managed space to store their content. And 3D Space is the app that allows you to create and invite users or groups of users to collaborative spaces while still controlling their permissions. In 3D Experience, contributor is synonymous with viewer, but almost all users are going to be invited to a space as an author, that is, someone who can create and edit content. Leader and owner is essentially an admin of the space, but may choose to simply access the space as an author most of the time. When working under leader, you get access to design level tasks such as workflow management, where the owner manages memberships to the space. You can create collaborative spaces and see additional information and controls for all spaces on your platform under the Content tab of the Platform Management dashboard by accessing the Collaborative Spaces Control Center. Here you can define which users are allowed to create spaces on their own, as well as manage global settings for all spaces across the platform. It is good practice to only create a small number of spaces, and when in doubt, use the default settings. When creating a space, you must choose a main owner who is in charge of inviting additional users or groups of users to the space through the 3D Space app. All users are going to want to use communities, which are accessed through the 3D Swim app. Permissions levels are defined per community, and again, the majority of users are going to require author access so they can create posts as opposed to simply commenting on existing ones. The owner has full control over the community, its members, and its content. A Communities tab exists on the Platform Management dashboard, and this is where you'll find the Communities Control Center. Here you can see all communities on your platform, whether you are a member of them or not. You can view any pending requests for community creation, as well as control the settings for who is allowed to create new communities. After a community is created, simply click on it to access its settings, where you can control its visibility among many other options. Making a community public means that all members of your platform are automatically added to it. A private community is still visible to all platform members, but access to it must be requested. And of course, a secret community is only known about by its members and the platform admin. Adding additional members to any community is done via the 3D Swim app. Finally, as the platform administrator, you have access to the Collaborative Spaces Configuration Center, which applies to all 3D spaces on your platform. Making a change here should be intentional to avoid unexpected behaviors, but the app is pre-configured to fit most users right out of the box. A few areas you may want to review are the content naming rules, where you can customize naming so long as you work under the prefix formula. Revision naming rules are for any data type, can be numeric or alphabetical. And maturity graphs is where you'll find the default workflows. Although you are constrained to 5 workflow states, you can change their names and the transitions between them. For admins and users alike, there is a great deal to learn about these tools, and a good place to start is the starter dashboards that come pre-configured by license type. For instance, the 3D Experience SolidWorks dashboard is available to all users assigned that role and contains the fundamental getting started info for that role specifically. For more in-depth learning paths and tutorials for individual 3D Experience roles, log into my.solidworks.com, choose Training, Learning Paths, and filter to 3D Experience, where you'll find a number of courses to explore. And all new users of 3D Experience will be greeted with a Getting Started and Learn the Experience tab on initial login, regardless of licensing. Additionally, onboarding videos for both admins and users can be found at 3ds.com by clicking Support and then following the drop-down menus for 3D Experience Platform on Cloud Support and finally Onboarding. This page is also linked in the initial email invitations, and the videos found here are recommended for all users. I also highly recommend checking out the Dassault Systems swim communities to ask questions of other users, similar to accessing forums. To do this, simply add a 3D swim app to one of your dashboards, and in the preferences of that app, set the 3D Experience platform to Dassault Systems. Of course, MLC CAD Systems is here to help you, and stay tuned for additional videos just like this one.